We are live.
We're live. Okay, very
Doing
good.
it loud and clear from our
Good
respective
morning. Good
locations.
morning on a very wet, soggy southeast Queensland morning.
Queensland Day. Yes, indeed. Like we can see it behind you, Nick. It's looking quite grey and miserable where you are.
Yeah, certainly there's still rain coming down, plenty more to come, but that's all right.
Yep.
Business goes on, and
Keep going, right?
here I
Keeps
am.
keeps moving. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we thought it was timely to talk about because there's going to be a lot of business owners that are impacted by what's been going on over the last, well, I'm going to say 5 days of what's been happening in southeast Queensland, but all around the world. And it's really about you actually need to take some action. Don't get stuck in doing nothing, because doing nothing is really hard. That just adds to the layer of stress, anxiety, concern about what's going on with your business. And the best thing you can do is to make a decision to move forward, whatever that is, right?
yeah, and I've got to be careful what I say. So there's uh, when these events happen, and there's some really awful things happening around the world, and actually typically there always is. There's always sort of something going on, isn't there? And and we get confronted with it. We know about it a lot more than we probably ever used to. So the fact that there's always something awful going on somewhere around the world, and that we are so plugged in to current events anywhere, there's always something that's up in front of us that is a gasping woe is me moment. And my experience is that once you've done the at home stock take, okay, right, am I physically, am I okay? Is my loved ones okay?
Yep.
And go through a series of priorities through that process, then we've got to be, and then the answer to that is yes. Then we've got to be really careful, particularly as business owners, but actually in anyone that's wanting to accumulate or move forward to anywhere better in their life. We must be really careful not to get trapped in the news cycle and the woe is me, because it becomes really easy. I want to be careful here, but it becomes really easy to start to use these things as excuses for us to actually stop and then just get into this trap of looking at every minute detail of the next thing that's going on in the news cycle. And they're really good at doing it, that hooking us in for the next bit. Oh, what's the current update? What's going on here? And what happens is that you'll end up at the end of a week, and sometimes much longer for many people. Some of what we've just gone through, for some people, it's been the end of 2 years of trapped in this, what's the statistics, the numbers, the this, the that for the day, and then nothing is happening in your own life and in your own business and your own journey of success.
Yeah, you're right. And one of the things we often talk about is put some filters in place, right? As you say, do the check. Is everybody in your circle that needs to concerned about, are they safe, are they well, is the business if it's inundated, what are you got to do to make the business safe, and where can you relaunch this business, turn it back on again? But really filter that negative noise that's out there. Like we are being slammed with news events, with social media, all those sort of things. So what can you do to put your focus on the things that's important, which is about keeping the business going and get the business going and growing. So what are you doing to filter that noise out? So turn off the alerts. Yeah, if you've got family members you're concerned about, check in, make sure they're okay, as you said. But you've got to put the focus back, turn the laser focus back on your business, right?
Yeah, and you've got to really look. I really encourage people in these times to use their critical thinking. Like, the more your eyeballs are planted on whether it's a social media platform like what we're on now, or a news site, like whether it's a channel 9 or a 10 or a 7 or whatever the network is that you're watching, that is building their business model.
Correct.
The eyeballs and the attention that you're giving them is helping them with ratings, revenue, and all of that. And that's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to get you in for this, for the next minute, the next statistic, the next whatever the narrative is that's going to hook you in. And you need to get out of that and focused into your business model. What are you creating? What are you generating? Are you even turning up? Can you just show up and just get that one little step forward done? Even if it's a less productive day, can you still do something rather than get, trapped into this, just focusing on what else is going on? And it's really, really important that you do that. Otherwise, you can never get forward. You will never get to that next level without being able to filter out these times.
So let's think about some quick tips that we might be able to share with the listeners today. One thing that I remember back in 2021, and it's lived with me since, is keep the communication lines open. So how do you let your customers know you're open and ready for business? What are you doing? Can you send them a text message? Can you send them a quick email? Is there a post you can put on social media? Yep. We're in Southeast Queensland, but we're alive and well, and we're operating. We'll navigate to here. We're doing the live. We would normally be together in the office. I'm in my home office, and Nick is at the office. So, there's ways of making sure that you can get those communication lines out, because you don't want your customers to assume that you're not open for business, right?
Well, you're competing for attention. Really important is you're competing for attention. Your business, like, you want to drag all of the people that have got their eyeballs fixated on something else, another event. You need to bring them back into your business. You need to get your business back generating revenue. And ultimately, again, going back to why you're in business, as we talk about all the time, when you've not got people's attention back into your business, you can't help them.
No.
You cannot, whatever your product or service is, if you're not got people coming through, you're not providing any value to those people. So you need to make sure that you go out and compete for that attention, get them back away from those other distractions, if everything is okay with them.
Yeah. So another tip I would recommend business owners do is, who's your circle of influence? Who are your mentors? Who's your business community? Reach out to them and say, hey, well, because anybody got some suggestion of how I can keep the business going? That's why Nick and I are here, right? Dive into these lives. But who are you connecting with in your professional circle of influence that they can help and support you make some good decisions?
Yeah, that's it. Make sure that you've got other people that are motivated and hungry, as you are, perhaps, or as you would like to be. Yeah.
So, a third one, what about your team? Do you have people in the business that they need to be reassured? Again, this is communication, but do you need some more team members? Do you need to go out and outsource some people to keep the business going? There's so much opportunity out there to outsource fairly simply. There's the likes of all the online platforms out there, the likes of Fiverr and all those places. Are there people out there that you can bring into the business to help it keep moving forward, right? Particularly if you have to do this pivot word, if you're based in Southeast Queensland. Yeah. What other?
And I know at the top of this we're talking about choice, and this is a choice we have every day. Like, there's always going to be something that's whether it's a big something or a small something, there's always going to be something that could be hindering us from pushing forward and enjoying whatever success might look like in our life. And so you've got a choice to go through that every day. The easy choice is just to succumb to it. The easy choice is to, hey, this has happened. I must do this, or I must do that, or I must go and prepare, or I must. The hard bit is to block that out and to stay on purpose, to stay on pursuing your vision of what you want your life to be able to keep on that track and keep pushing forward not just every day, but every minute, every hour of every day, just to keep that focus in so you can keep pushing forward.
And to be able to do that, we speak about it often, is to tapping into your purpose, why you're in business, as you said. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, tap back into that, because you need that fire in the belly to keep that drive burning, right? So that you can get these things done. So what's a tip that you can think of, Nick? So we've spoken about, make a choice, surround yourself with the right people, filter out the negative influences, focus on the business, all those sort of things. So what would be something you can think of we could share?
Well, I mean, again, all of those things tie back into having a discipline, and what discipline you're applying into your life. And discipline is a very hard thing to do unless you've got something that means a lot to you and behind that. See, when you've got a goal that really means something to you, discipline becomes a whole lot easier. See, when we're pushed to the edge, where we're forced into a position, all of a sudden that discipline can emerge. But when we haven't got something there that we're really tied into, it's much more difficult to apply that discipline. So you need to replace that forced situation. If you don't have one of those in your life, like going to the gym, well, if you're forced with the doctor saying, hey, if you don't do this, you won't be here much longer, you will go to the gym most likely, from a self-preservation standpoint. So you need to manufacture something like that in place of that hard thing that someone could say to you that would make you do something. You need to manufacture that in your own life. And that when that comes to business and success, or wherever it is you want to be in your life, then you've got to make it that what you want is so great that no matter how comfortable you are right now, that you really are you got to make yourself uncomfortable with the level that you're at right now. And so that you've got to keep pushing, and then you can then start to implement that discipline, stick with that discipline, and keep pushing on, and that'll keep you on track.
Yeah. So I spoke earlier on about making sure the communication lines are open with your customers, but don't forget your suppliers as well. If there's going to be, because of the circumstances, particularly if you're in Southeast Queensland, do you need to pick up the phone and speak to some suppliers to say, I need more product, or there's going to be some cash flow challenges? Like, there's nothing worse for a supplier, and us as business owners are the same, nothing worse than getting crickets from the people that we do business with if there's going to be some challenges, or they need to to renegotiate some contracts. So think about that as well. Pick up the phone, be proactive, because they're going to be more appreciative of that than the crickets that you may have given them previously. Pick up the phone, make the call, discuss the challenges or the issues that are in the business that they can potentially support you with. So don't forget, it's a two-way street, right? Your suppliers and your customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you're in a bad way at the moment, or you're struggling with this, or you're struggling with to get to that next spot, you must join us on that Biz Boot Camp. If you're an existing business owner, things aren't going quite as you want, and you're struggling to get that discipline in there, you're struggling to break out of maybe a negative spot that you're in now, make sure you come and check out our Biz Boot Camp. The doors are closing on that from the next intake on that, and again, it's a prime example. It's super easy to go, oh, well, now's not the right time. I don't have any time. I don't have enough funds to be able to do something like that. That's the excuse territory. That's the easy way out. Yeah. But the hard bit is to make the decision and commit to having a better business and a better life. If you want to push forward, make the harder decision today, which is to go and commit.
And if you're not happy where your business is today, and we said to you, if it looks exactly the same in 12 months' time, how are you going to feel about that? Well, then clearly something has to change. So make the decision to make the change in your business. And that's what, Biz Boot Camp will walk you through that. And what you'll get at the end of it is this clear roadmap, your own roadmap of where you're going to take this business and how it's going to move forward. Who else doesn't want clarity in that? You understand the processes. We'll check out the gaps in your business, fill the skill gaps, and have a roadmap at the end. So go check it out. It's on the Navigate Biz website, navigate.biz.com. Sorry, completely muddled that one up.
navigate.biz.com. There we go.
Simple, right?
Hey, come and check it out now. Once you get into that Biz Boot Camp, there's a lot of difficult things in there. There's a lot of tough stuff to do, but Joanne and I are there to go through that with you. But the bit that we can't do for you, the bit that we can't do and help you with, is the making the decision bit. You got to do that on your own. You've got to commit the time, commit the funds, and make that happen. There's a ton of different like in terms of being able to fit the timing around your schedule with recorded content, etc., and workbooks you can do at your own time. You know, if you're committed, you can fit those things in. The payment terms, that the afterpays and the PayPals and all of those things, the payment can make those the payment schedule easier for you. But actually going and pressing the button, you've got to do it yourself. We can, once you get in the boot camp, then we can help you with a whole bunch of stuff to turn your business around. But you first got to commit.
Indeed. So look forward to hearing from you in Biz Boot Camp. But if you need, you can reach out to Nick and I. We can walk you through your options. We can have a phone call, and you can get in touch with us via the website. So look forward to it. And we'll be back on live a little bit later in the week. We'll be back.
Yeah. So happy Monday, everybody. No matter where you are, I hope it's a great one for you. And if it ain't, well, you got to go and make it great. So have a good day, everybody. Catch ya.
Yeah.